Hello, Creative Pro fans. I'm Willie Thrill, and it is my honor and pleasure to be announcing to you the nominees for the 2024 CAP Year-End Awards. We're getting things kicked off with a big award, the MJF Outstanding Wrestler of the Year. Here are your nominees. The Dime Piece, Aaron Rourke. The GOATest of all time, Bobby Orlando. The Artist, Jake Lang. Dante Drago is the best. The Beast, Vargas. And of course, none other than CPA. Our next award is the Chris Statlander Outstanding Wrestler of the Year Award. Kicking things off, we have the Nominee, Gabby Forza. The Latina Spice, Nat Castle. Brianna Bands, and Sazzy Boatwright. Our next award is the Tag Team of the Year Award. Here are the nominees. Bryce Donovan and Evil Kip. QGTM, Los Toxicos. Adrenaline Express. The Shooter Boys. The Even Stevens, and Birds of the Sun. Our next award is CAP Moment of the Year Award. There have been a ton of great moments in Creative Pro Wrestling in 2024, but only one can stand out as the CAP Moment of the Year. Here are your nominees. Bobby Orlando winning the Creative Pro Championship at Creative Pro Showing Off. Gabby Forza becoming the first ever CAP Women's Champion at the 10-year anniversary Super Show. Vargas powerbombing CAP GM Ariella Nix through a door, and Bryce Donovan making it right by signing the petition to reinstate Evil Kip into Creative Pro Wrestling. Our next award is the Feud of the Year Award. There were a lot of wrestlers who had a bit of beef throughout 2024. Our nominees, Aaron Rourke and Bobby Orlando, could not keep their hands away from each other when it came to the Creative Pro Championship. These two were at each other's throats all throughout 2024. Gabby Forza and Nat Castle, two standout women in Creative Pro Wrestling, Will Strauss and Vargas. Now, unfortunately, no one has had a worse year in 2024 than one Will Strauss, who has suffered loss after loss after loss in Creative Pro Wrestling, still looking to pick up that big win here in Creative Pro. But that, of course, was no thanks to Vargas, who at every turn took his opportunity to destroy Will Strauss and leave his mark in Creative Pro Wrestling. Dante Drago and Jack Tomlinson, these two cannot stand each other, even culminating in a Hollywood backlot brawl. And last but not least, the Shooter Boys versus the Even Stevens. The Shooter Boys exploded onto the scene at our 10-year anniversary Super Show, where they picked up a huge win against the Even Stevens. And these veteran two-time Creative Pro champions did not take too kindly to the loss, as they continued to take on the Shooter Boys throughout 2024, eventually culminating in a 2 out of 3 falls match at CAP Land Before Time, where the Shooter Boys were able to pick up a huge win and knock off the Even Stevens. The Shooter Boys and Even Stevens for Feud of the Year 2024. This next one is not a fun one. It is the Most Hated Award. There were a lot of unlikable figures throughout Creative Pro Wrestling in 2024, but who was the most hated? Here are the nominees. Los Toxicos. The Artist, Jake Lang. Our CAP GM, Ariella Nix. Jack Tomlinson, the leading man. And of course, Will Strauss. Our next award is the 2024 Guest of the Year Award. A ton of great guests who appeared in Creative Pro Wrestling this year. Here are your nominees. Eric Young, Rhino, Danhausen, PCO, Megan Bain, Turk Wendell, Dango, Tommy Dreamer, and last but not least, the wanted man, Nick Nemeth. Our next award is looking ahead to 2025 with our 2025 One to Watch Award. Here are the nominees. Leo Sparrow, GKM, Tristian Kyle, the leading man Jack Tomlinson, TK Wild, and Kwesi Asante. This award is one of my favorite awards here at the CAP Year-End Awards, the 2024 Rookie of the Year Award, and your nominees are... Is this right? Okay, well, your nominees are Shooter Boy A and Shooter Boy B. Our next award is the 2024 Show of the Year Award. There were a ton of great shows for Creative Pro Wrestling. Here are the nominees. Top Guys Only, Hunting Season, the 10-year anniversary Super Show, the Shook Crew Fun Fair 3, Big Bang, Base Brawl, and Showing Off. Our next award is the CAP TV of the Year Award. CAP TV was on fire throughout 2024. Here are the nominees for CAP TV of the Year. Steamboat Willie, Road to Hunting Season, the 10-year anniversary Eve Show, The Next Decade, Land Before Time, Shook Bowl 2024, and Frostbite 3. And of course, last but certainly not least, our 2024 CAP Match of the Year Award. There are so many great matches and so many nominees to pick from. Here are your nominees. Aaron Rourke versus Dante Drago at Hunting Season. TJ Crawford versus Angelo Carter at the 10-year anniversary Eve Show. Bryce Donovan and Evil Kip versus Adrenaline Express at the 10-year anniversary Super Show. Gabby Forza versus Nat Castle, also at the 10-year anniversary show. Aaron Rourke versus Bobby Orlando at the 10-year anniversary Super Show. The Shooter Boys versus Shot Through the Heart at CAP TV's The Next Decade. Aaron Rourke versus Max Caster at Shook Crew Fun Fair 3. The 2 out of 3 Falls match between the Shooter Boys and the Even Stevens at Land Before Time. Gabby Forza teaming with the Iron Savages versus Megan Bain and Adrenaline Express at Big Bang. Jake Lang versus Nick Robles for the CAP TV Championship at Base Brawl. Nick Robles versus Jake Lang versus TJ Crawford versus Dante Drago for the CAP TV Championship at Showing Off. Aaron Rourke versus Bobby Orlando for the CAP Championship at Showing Off. The Shook Bowl match, second annual Shook Bowl match between Team Bobby and Team Bryce. And last but not least, the CAP TV Championship match between Dante Drago and VSK at CAP TV Frostbite. Well, that wraps up 2024. I want to thank all of the Creative Pro fans for making 2024 a spectacular year for CAP. And be sure to reserve your seats for the 2024 Creative Pro Awards at the Creative Pro Wrestling Academy, January 19th, where you will hear all of the winners announced live. We are looking forward to what's to come in 2025. But until then, I've been Willie Thrill, and I'll catch you next time.